We're at 800. We got J Money here, 892. G6, eh? Alrighty. Let's go D4. And now let's try H4. I want to quickly target the fianchetto setup. Knight F6 attacking the center pawn. I could defend, but if I'm attacking, I want time on my side. And now I push. Now I can destabilize the king quite a bit. H6 would really harass this bishop. But we'll do it next move. Let's go H6. This bishop has to go back. Now black is a bit cramped here. Let's continue putting on pressure. Pressure can come from simply developing pieces. I'm going to queenside castle. Let's go here. I would love to see this. Then the queen comes out, then a quickie. Alrighty, let's go. Queen D3. I want a queenside castle. Okay. I'm going to take with the queen here. I'm targeting this. When I queenside castle, my rook's going to be aimed at the right square as well. Alright. Looks good to me. Am I concerned about this? I don't think so. I think there's some pretty good pressure. Black's like, I don't care. Well, takes. If I take, this bishop defends. Too many defenders. Well, what if I go here? Oof. Good techno is playing right now. Not on YouTube, but for us. Knight takes is not a concern. Look how cramped black is. Take with the knight. Thanks for the knight. Alrighty. I see our rooks are touching. Awkward. Let's trade. Check. Now f7's about to fall as well. If king takes, I have bishop takes pawn. Why? Why does this work? Why does that not hang my bishop? Now, I could take on f7, check, and that's really good. But if I were to take on f7 with a check, the king slides over, and then I take the pawn with my bishop, my opponent's not going to take my bishop because they're going to recognize that the bishop's defended. So I'm going to play the more discreet move order. Bishop takes pawn. Now they want to take it because they don't look ahead. They don't recognize that. That's how we get there. Good game. Good game, J Money. Cheers. Resulted Quill. Good luck. E4. The French. Oh, I like crushing the French. We're going to grab the center. We're going to play knight c3. Supporting the pawn here. We don't want to trade. That's low T. This is low T. It also opens up our opponent's pieces. I'm going to develop and bum rush. Pin the knight. And now we're good. Now there's a tactic I see. Does anyone else see it? My opponent thinks, ooh, the bishop on b5 might be loose sometimes. It is going to be loose. Watch this. Let's take on d5. I see one defender, two attackers. But I have something else planned. Oh no, my bishop. You attacked my bishop and it's hanging. Knight's hitting the queen. You gotta take that hanging bishop, right? Well done by the Canadian, the Canuck here. Took some time, realized. See? Canadians are smarter than Americans. An American would have taken that. They would have taken the bullet for sure. Absolutely. Check. And it defends the bishop. Okay, now my knight's hanging. So I'm going to retreat with the threat of doubling up on the bishop on e6. I'm also threatening d5 because this bishop is pinned. Yes, black can take here, but you gotta deal with knight e6. That's a bit scary. If queen a5 check, I'm gonna hit him with bishop b2 because again, my bishop is defended. Oh, perfect. Let's throw this in first, take the bishop. Let's take here with check. I'm up 2 pawns. I could take. But for the sake of fun, I believe that is wrong. I believe bishop c4 is a more aggressive move. Or knight e5 is even more aggressive, leaving my bishop on priest, but threatening queen f7 mate. Depends on how dangerous this guy is. Let's try knight e5, threatening mate. Oh, that worked. Let's double check. Is that checkmate? My knight defends. The queen, the king can't take. Can the king escape to d7? Nope, the knight covers. We're good. e4 it is. And now we're gonna go King's Gambit style. Sack a pawn, get an attack, play romantic style chess. Oh, they know some theory maybe. Beefy Joe's a beefy guy. And I'm not super booked up here because I don't normally play this. I'm just doing it for the people. All right, I will just push the pawns in the center. And castle. And you might be wondering, why am I down a pawn? Where's the compensation? It's coming. We're castled. We got the 2 pawns in the center, and after knight f6, this pawn is no longer defended. So good timing for us. And take that. It defends this. It hits that. It weakens f4 for more pieces to jump in. And now black is dead. Absolutely dead. And we have Yasser in the chat. And I think Yasser inspired me to play this opening because he got his butt kicked one time by former world champion Boris Spassky in the King's Gambit, if I recall. And that was an important game in my chess development. Learning from Big Boris. So now I can take with check, but I like the idea of forking. What does that mean? No, you learn from losses. You learn from losses. Let me take here. Fork the queen, rook, and bishop. And there we go. Opponent had enough. Javier. Good luck. What are we doing in c5? We've tried almost everything. We'll go back to our Danish Gambit from earlier in the speedrun. That's 1 pawn to sack. Whoa! I'm out of theory. I'm out of book. I swear. Queen e7. Menace. Uh-oh. All right, let's try to find a logical move. No, I don't see it. I'm just gonna take back, give up a pawn, and harass the queen. Oh! Okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. I thought Javier was gonna take this pawn. I'm gonna go f3 now. Just to be very safe. Now I can go e5. Queen takes d4 right here. I wasn't a big fan of because then my queen starts getting hit. Knight c6, knight f6 is playable. I just didn't like knight c6 and getting chased around. Here I'm gaining some space. Oh. What about this pawn, bud? Are you not concerned? Okay. Queen e6. Unfortunately, you're supposed to go queen d8 here. Is this square available? Not here, 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 here. Knight c7, check. Looks good to me, check. Takes. And I want to set up a checkmate. Check. 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 King has to go here. Check. Now I made it easy. Now I made it easy for everybody what the move is. It's not g4 checkmate. If there's mate in one, look for better. Check. It's not the fastest checkmate. Now we do it. Good game. e4. Another French. I like this. So I played knight c3 last time, but sometimes in the French, one of the main moves is e5, just to cramp black's position. Black's going to counterattack. My goal is to keep my pawn chain because that provides me space and cramps black's position. c4 does block me from getting there, but this bishop is really stuck. Okay. I'm gonna go queen g4. In case you move this bishop, you hang this pawn. It's a simple-minded move, but I've seen it before. I've seen it before. Okay, do I want to take with the knight or with the pawn? If I take with the knight comes here. The knight comes to f6. Maybe we don't mind that. I'll take with the pawn though, just to make it harder for black. Okay, g6. What do we do if we want to attack? What's the move here? I want to attack. What should we do? There's multiple answers. Yes, h4. Let's go h4, h5. See what happens. I see lots of dark squares that are prime squares to attack or put pieces in. Okay. My bishop is hanging. So that's a more annoying move than I expected. But you know what? We're here for a good time. So I'm going to sacrifice that bishop just to attack. I have an idea. I'm going to sacrifice the bishop, take here, and I want to get that pawn in g7 and make a new queen. I hope that's not silly. Bishop takes bishop, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes here. Oh, didn't take. I'm still threatening it. Okay. Can I take this with check or should I take here with check? Sorry, taking here is not with check. I lied. I'll take here first. But I'm gonna win a pawn. So that's good. Take. Check. Hitting the knight. I think you should defend with the knight. Well done. Opponent's playing pretty well. They're down a pawn, but I think they're defending. Okay, this pawn is really blocking my bishop, so I'm gonna try to destabilize it with b3. I'm not happy with my bishop not being able to go to some natural squares. Yes. Let's take. I gotta get my bishop in the game. Yep. Up 2 pawns, but my king is fairly weak, to be fair. And black's fighting on well. I'm a chicken. This pawn is weak. My king is a bit loose. So I'm gonna go queen g8 check and force the queens off. I'm up 2 pawns, but this pawn's probably a goner, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Let's tickle the b7 pawn. I'm still up a pawn, so it's not the end of the world. But my opponent's playing pretty well here, pretty well. How about I go rook here? I want to trade everything. If black allows it, I will trade everything. A pawn up endgame can absolutely be winning. If you give me some time, I'll play. Oh, okay. Let's test out that theory. We're going to trade and see who wins. My king goes up. My king goes up. My king goes up. And we make a queen. Let's get rid of my opponent's pawns. Check. Push. 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 Check. Push. Queen. Let's practice the ladder mate. Check. Check. Oh, check. Check. It's not a ladder. This checkmate? Looks like it. Good game. Very strong 900. Very well played, K double XG snacks. Alrighty. E4 versus everything. We're gonna play real aggressive. E5. Let's play the fried liver. Alright, D6. Manuel Smith. We're hoping for knight F6 so I can go knight G5. So this is there's a trap here. I'm hoping we get it. I want black to play H6, and this will be a famous, would have been a famous game. Too bad. Let's threaten checkmate. All right. I don't want to trade queens. This is supposed to be an aggressive E4 speedrun. So going back doesn't look fun. Let's try a cheeky move. Queen H3. And I'm eyeballing that C8 square. Knight D5, queen here is a little bit annoying. But it looks pretty good. I can't complain about that position. Do we go knight D5 here and harass the queen? Queen's gonna go to D8 for sure, right? Knight B5, is the queen gonna go to B8? Let's try. Let's hope for rook C8. Let's go fishing. If queen D8, I'm gonna go queen H5 and threaten checkmate. I have some ideas here. Let's try queen H5, threatening checkmate. Hello. If G6, queen F3, threatening checkmate. If knight F6, then maybe I'll take. I'll take here. And the queen is overloaded, right? Queen's probably going to take, and then I'm going to take this knight. Thank you. So that's a pawn for me. Successful. I'm going to go c3, because I'm a little worried about this knight b4 business. If my queen retreats, oh, even better. Bishop e7. The problem with this move, queen no longer defends f7. So do I take with the queen or do I take with the bishop? Take with the queen. That's a check. Hitting the rook. If the king goes here, I can go check again. Looks pretty good to me. Check. Can't take the rook unless I want to give up my queen for 2 rooks, which isn't the end of the world. But I have an in-between move that I like. Check. Forces the king back. Only squares d8. There we go. 14 moves. Go me. The aggressive setup worked. Carry Sala. Good luck. E4. What are we going to do against e5? I'll try the same setup. We're hoping... Alright, we're going to have to try a new setup here. Black's playing, or I'm playing the Italian, and black play bishop c5. Knight f6 and go knight g5. We're going to have to try the Evans Gambit. Evans Gambit is here. We go b4. I'm not super booked up here. I haven't played it in a long time. The point is, the bishop takes the pawn. I try to rush. Grab a big thick center. Let's take. Oh, maybe Buddy has some theory. I should have castled. But we have to just test them. I have some ideas here. Okay. I have my own way of playing it. It's probably not good. But it worked. White to play here. White to play and move here. What's the move? This is my own flavor. Castle. I'm not planning on castling. I want to hurt them in the opening. And I kicked the knight away from c6 so that I could get queen a4 check. It's the king. It's the bishop. And I don't see a good way to block. There we go. All these people with their theory on the Evans Gambit. I don't need theory. I just need open lines. Loose pieces. This is a loose piece. What should black have played here? They should have thrown in bishop takes d2 check. But that's hard to see. Thank you for the bishop. Alright, are we going to take with the queen or take with the knight on c4? This is an obvious answer. You want to use as many pieces as possible. Don't develop with the same piece over and over. And especially don't let your opponent get some time to castle. Algu asks, why didn't they go knight take c4 first instead of c6? Algu! You want to go knight take c4 here. Look at the position! You're in check! That's illegal. And this is why you were blundering pieces yesterday. On stream. That's an illegal move. Alright, here, we're going to take with a knight. Now I'm down to 30 seconds. This pawn is loose. Check. Check, check, check. Queen defends the knight. King's got to move. Check. Hit the queen. Queen's being attacked. And we're going to take your next move. Check. Don't take it. Don't take it. I'm going to slide in. Is this checkmate? Let's double check. The knight defends. Can the king go back to e6? No. e5? No. There we go. Okay. We got the Philippines. Let's try the Evans Gambit again. Oh, we got a Petrov. Very solid, especially at this elo. Do we have any tricks? Let's try d4. Put some pressure on black. And let's go e5. Hit that knight. I'm putting pressure on black whenever I'm playing. That's the point of this. Take with the queen. Now the knight has to move again because it's being attacked, or they gotta defend. And we're gonna keep pressuring. What's the next move to pressure? Could go c4. I'm gonna go bishop c4 because I want to go for a quick castle. Quick castle means I don't have to worry about my king being stuck in the middle. Quick castle. I'm not sure you want to take here, then my queen takes with check. That might be annoying. For black. Check. What's the move now? Look at the position. I'm castled. Black really wants the castle next move and get into safety, but it's all about timing. Look at the whole board. Look at what's defended, what's not defended. That's right, defile. Is rook e1 a bad move? No, I like that suggestion. Rook e1 is a tricky move because if black castles, then we can get rid of the knight and take the bishop. So I actually like that move. But we're going to practice pawn grabbing because we're 900 elo. And some of you don't take your pawns enough. You don't take your vitamins. So I'm going to take that pawn, destroy black's kingside, and hit the rook. And what's the next move? Rook e1. Yes. Bishop f6. Do I have to move my queen? Do I have to? No. I can throw in a check first. Check. Now my queen is being attacked, unfortunately. Okay. We'll be pragmatic. Queen h6. I'm not done attacking. We've broken down the king side. So black's probably looking to castle queen side in the future. Rook e6 was a possibility. It was a possibility. But how about I try bishop g5 and just bring all the pieces in? And swarm the e6 bishop. Playing developing moves, putting pressure on, nothing too fancy, and taking free pawns. We could sack the exchange, but I don't even need to. I'm up a pawn and I got a big attack. This knight is defending this. Let's take it. Gotta take with the pawn, and you'll see why next move. The bishop takes, the queen hangs. Black might blunder that. If they take with a pawn, I go knight c3, and I'm threatening knight takes d5 because I'm pinning the e-file. Right? So, bishop takes g5 first. So when you're attacking, you want to offer a trade of queens. So we can take with the queen, or we can take with the knight. We're attacking, what should we do? When somebody's queen is in front of their king and they're pretty open, what should we do? Don't trade queens. Keep the pressure on. Take with a knight. Yes. Don't give them an escape. All right, let's calculate. We got a queen, knight, and rook attacking e6. There's a queen and pawn defending it. That's 2 defenders, 3 attackers. The math checks out. Let's take with the weakest piece. That's the knight. And we're ready to bulldoze with the rook. Not with the queen, with the rook. And there goes the lady. Simple as that. Rook spinning the queen to the king, and it should be game over. Check. Now my main focus is I don't want to get back rank mated. So I'm going to bring the knight in so the rook covers the back rank. If you give me another move, I'm going to throw in habits, mix in some habits, h3. You know, just to be proof. Blunder proof. King c7, wanting to escape. Nope. Check. King can't cross. King's got to go back. Where are you going to go? Okay. Rook e1, that's the open file, and we're threatening queen e8, checkmate. That's a checkmate. Ah, you want to escape. And it's no longer checkmate. But I now have queen, once the pawn moves, c6 is now available. Queen c6, check. King has 2 squares, no matter what, queen c7, next move is mate. I could take the rook, but let's calculate queen c7. The knight defends, the king can't cross e-file. Mate. Good stuff. Let's go, e4. We got our usual e5 response. I'll play the Italian again. We're gonna see bishop c5. We're gonna try the Evans, and the Evans is gonna get stronger. We're gonna go b4, sack a pawn for the initiative. Oh, bishop d4. You're not gonna take it. I'm gonna just try to blow up the center. The question is, do we go a4 and try to trap the bishop, or do we go d4? I like space. I'm gonna go a4. They might forget about their bishop. We're threatening to trap it with a5. Attack. Gotta be consistent. I could have played d3 first. Okay, that's reasonable for black. They actually get 2 pawns for the bishop. And that's what e4 is, it's sharp. I might be winning here, but I have to demonstrate it. And right now, where do I put my king? e1, f1, g1, e3. e3 I don't like, I'm a chicken. I don't know about g1 either. But I'm gonna go g1 anyways. I'm gonna hide, I'm gonna run. Okay. So this bishop wants to join the game, so let's go d3, tickling this knight. And I am up a piece, so the more pieces I trade off, the safer my king will be. So let's now pin the knight. Maybe I can bring my knight in. Okay. Let's keep the tension, keep the pressure. Now we have another question. Do I sacrifice and pin, or do I run back? I'm not going to pull a wild hacks. We're going to take. We're going to take on g5. We're giving back the piece, but we got a pretty dangerous looking pin. Got a pretty dangerous looking pin here. And now let's go pile on the pin. Queen f3. This is a very annoying pin. King g7 is the only move I see. And then I'm going to go knight e2, rook f1. Oh. Well, if that's the move, I can just take here. I can just win a piece with queen takes f6. Gonna do it. Gonna do it. So now, looks like I'm up a piece, queens are off. All I need to do is get my king off the back rank so my rooks can connect. Also bring the knight in. Let's throw h3 in first. Challenge this bishop and give my king a more natural escape square. h2. Because my rook might want to go on f1. Okay? I take that back. King f2. Let's harass this bishop. g4. We're here for a good time. h4. Still here for a good time. That's 2 bishops this game I trapped just by pushing the pawns blatantly. No tricks, no hidden moves. The threats were obvious. I'm just gonna calculate and make sure the bishop has no squares. It doesn't, thank you. That's a check. All right, so some of you would be really tempted. You'd be like, Eric, I wanna go bishop e4. Picking up material. Bishop b4, you know, pinning that knight. Well, there's something much more efficient. What's the move here? After this move, it's lights out. Even your dog could win this game. Bishop is taking away these squares on f6. This bishop is taking away that. That's right, Ted McForehead. h6. And what's the next move? h7. And then what's the move after that? h8. And is there anything black can do about it? No. In fact, I'm gonna pre-move. Yay. That's a checkmate with the pawn. Extra points for me. e4. e5. We're gonna continue running through this opening. Ah, high energy. According to chess.com, this is called the King's Pawn opening, the Elephant Gambit. I don't know what's going on. Let's meet fire with fire. d4. All right, our knight's being attacked, so we can't take the pawn with our pawn, but we get our knight on e5. Oh, they're playing quickly, eh? All right, let's learn how to develop a tempo, put pressure on. What's the move here? Bishop b5. We develop our bishop, we get closer to castling, and we introduce a threat. Those are all good things. I could take here and mess up the pawns, or I could take here and try to mess up this knight with the pin. They're both pretty tempting. Let's try the most risky but ambitious way. And d5. We're pinning the knight. This doesn't actually work because there's some good moves for black. But you have to force your opponent to play good moves. What's a good move for black? Queenside castle. Is that a good move for black? That's also a good move. But it's probably not the best move. So we go bishop a4, b5 is coming, eh? We take here, queen takes, king takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. Gotta think about this. I'm gonna take the knight. Queen's gonna trade off. They're gonna take me, but then I take the pawn at the end, right? I get to take here on b7. So then I'm up a pawn. But then they can go rook here. Then I go knight c3. Okay. King e2. So the material's even and my king is in the middle. You might be worried, but when the queens are off the board, well, look at that. They didn't take my bishop, so I'm actually up a piece. Well, there you go. Force your opponent to play good moves, but he didn't do that. Now I'm just up a piece and a pawn. Check. The next move is a bit tricky. Find a move for white that threatens to win the game. It's the trickiest move in the position. It's a move that if you play, you know there's a decent chance your opponent's gonna blunder. Even if they play a decent move. It's a bait. It's a good move anyways, but it really gives them a way to go wrong. You gotta allow people the chance to blunder. And Bobertio, you are correct. It's rook d1. They're like, oh, I want to trade rooks. But you trade rooks, I get to promote. So it looks like a normal move. It doesn't look like a tricky move to black. But it, of course, threatens a lot. Because they're not even threatening to take here, because we have checkmate. Okay, okay. I want them to take the pawn. Wait a second, g6. What do they want to do? They want to develop, okay. Check. You're not coming out of this one, bud. I'm not letting your king escape. I'm gonna mate you. As hard as I can. On f6. You go f5, what's the move? There's another move I have planned if you go f5 and try to prevent this checkmate. Oh, didn't try it. You see mate in one, look for better. So I'm gonna throw in this, check. I'm gonna throw in this, lady. And now, checkmate. e4. Let's play the Mora Gambit versus the Sicilian. Let's have a bit of fun. Check out the book Mayhem in the Mora. A good friend of mine, Mark Esserman. You can have a lot of fun. It's risky, but a lot of fun. You sack a pawn against the Sicilian. And yeah, we're just here for some fun. But my opponent might not know some theory. A little scary here, eh? Let's see what happens. Try to test them. Okay. Do I take with the pawn and maybe open up this bishop? Or do I take with the queen? I'll take with the queen first. Now I'm looking at this pawn. I am down a pawn, but we got the bishop pair. How exciting do we want to make it? I think we should make it very exciting. Attack. Knight takes pawn, I'm taking here. King there. Well, am I gonna trade? No. What's the move? King e7 unfortunately walks right into my bishop. The knight's pinned, it's paralyzed. Good job, defile. e5. And we have the breakthrough. Check. I could take the rook, win the queen, but I'd rather get checkmate. So that means check. King can't go here because of the bishop. Check. King's got to go there. Is this checkmate? Queen b5, the knight defends, bishop defends, king can't go anywhere. Looks good. Here we go. Oh, win this thing. Waiting for our first loss with white. Probably will take a while, but let's have some fun. Let's go back to the... Let's try the King's Gambit. It's been a little bit. Where you sack a pawn and try to get a big center. Okay, black's declining it. I'll develop bishop b5 to pin the knight. Do I want to trade? No, I'm trying to like build pressure. Whoa! That does not look correct to me. Something looks off here. Black is attacking me like he's the one gambiting. f5, I've never seen this before. The king looks wide open here. How can we punish the king? Rook 1 is tempting. Taking is tempting. I'm gonna keep it simple. I think the king's vulnerable on the e-file, so I'm gonna attack by opening things up. Check. Nothing too complicated. Now the knight blocks. I'm tempted to play here, but what I really notice is the queen no longer defends g5. I'm castled, I have all my pieces ready. If I get rid of this pawn, then my queen can jump in, my bishop can jump in. It's gonna take that pawn. There's other moves as well, I'm sure, but I got my return on investment. I still got an attack. Probably gonna win a second pawn, and black still has issues. Are we interested in trading? Takes. Looks pretty good. How good? I kind of like this bishop. This bishop is putting a lot of pressure on with this d5 idea, so let's keep the pressure. More likely to blunder. If queen d7, we have d5. If b5, we have bishop b3, and then we have our own threats over here. I didn't go bishop c4 because they could go d5. Perfect. Now let's go knight here. Forking. I don't want the king to escape. So if bishop takes, I'm taking the bishop. King's got to go all the way back. Queen check, knight here. It's almost checkmate. Let's try something. Check. Knight has to block. And I have a cool move afterwards. After knight g6, which is the only move, try to predict my next move. I see checkmate. Check! King wants to go here. The e-file is covered. C-file is covered because the king can't jump over the knight. Queen f5, that's a diagonal check. There's no pieces that can defend. King can't go to the e-file. And there we go. Alright, against knight c6, we'll try the Evans Gambit again, if we're given the chance. Okay, I'm out of book. My general book. f5 here is very loose, but I think the point of it is if I take the pawn, black goes d5. But you know what? Trial by fire. Let's try it out. Because if I take here, they go d5, I go bishop b5. They're gonna try, oh! I didn't see that. Or maybe I did, but I wanted to try this out in the speedrun. Well, that's awkward. If I go queen e2, queen e7 looks annoying. If I move my knight, I don't have a good square to move my knight. I'm gonna try something here. Be gentle with me. I'm gonna sack a piece. And after pawn takes, I'm not gonna take back first. I'm gonna throw in rook e1 check. And I wonder if I have any really good attacking moves here. I see one thing to try. Queen takes to go queen h5 looks interesting. Maybe we should try that. Knight f6 is a good move though. Yeah. And the problem is they're preparing d5 and they're taking away this. So we have two pawns to the piece, which isn't enough. But hopefully we have development and we have help from our opponent. Knight e5. That looks like a gift. That just looks like a free knight. Thank you very much. d5, let's calculate here. Two defenders, we got three attackers. I'm gonna take with the bishop first because I want my knight to come in, then I can attack the bishop on e7. Knight takes d5. Knight takes d5 and then e7 falls. Right? GG, you good. You blundered a knight, I was lucky. He said, I'm good, I take my time. True chess player. I mean, black was doing fine, they just played too fast and blundered a knight. But I am taking my time. We take those. Okay. Is this tempting? It is tempting. But I also like the bishop on this diagonal because they can't castle. And now what do I want to do next? I need to bring my bishop in and put more pressure here because the king is stuck. So let's go d4. We're pinning this bishop, remember? So if the queen goes to c7, we can go bishop f4, bishop d6. Perfect. And then bishop d6. And look at this pin. Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Everything's developed. My king is safe. My pieces are all doing something. Black can scramble and queenside castle. They're going to lose the second piece. Oh, okay. This is now interesting. We can win the queen already. I'm just wondering if there's anything better. I'm going to try something here. I want to take here and go for checkmate. We can already take... But the bishop is pinned. If I can just take here. Okay, so now we take, check, take. And now this is the difference. Is I can take on g7. So I got a better version. Right? And after king d6, I'm going to go knight e4, knight e4, queen e5, checkmate. As a bait. Oh, didn't do it. Check. Check. I always check. I always throw in that extra check, if you noticed, to force the king to a worse square. Thank you for all the pieces, pal. Check. Check. It's pinned. That checkmate looks good. GG. You've made it through another episode of my E4 speedrun. To continue watching the next one, just click on the video beside me, and all I ask is that you consider clicking that subscribe button below the video to support our future content.